God treats us in the same way we treat others. God acts towards us in the same way we act towards other people, which means our relationship with the neighbor, with other people, has a direct impact on our relationship with God. Pay close attention, because it's quite usual for people to speak this way. What matters, it's me with God. Isn't that it? What matters is my conscience with God. It's me with God. That's true to a point, because that does not mean that our relationship with other people, the way that we treat other people, does not impact our relationship with God. If I have a relationship with God, that must reflect in our relationship with other people. And the way that we treat people will influence my relationship with God. Let's understand this. Let's open this box and see what is inside. So let's start in here. Jesus spoke like this. You have heard that it was said, Jesus speaking to people in one of his first preachings. You've heard that it was said beforehand in the law, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. This is in the law. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. See what a high standard he holds for us to be children of God. One of the highest standards that there is, in my opinion, which is all that he said, love your enemy, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. Who does want to do that? Who really wants to do that naturally? No one, because that's not natural to humans. Because what do we want to do with our enemies? We want to defeat them. We want them to feel bad. What do we want with our enemies? With those who badmouth us, we want them to be wrong. What do we want with those who hate us? To do good to them? No. No. We don't want to do good to them. They hate us. What do we want with those who use us and persecute us? At least that they may stumble and fall. Isn't that it? This is what we want. Be sincere, be truthful. Truthful, humanly speaking, is what we feel on doing it. However, when we have the Father's DNA in us, he's saying we should do the opposite of what we feel like, and that will give us the position, the title, way higher than where our enemies will be. And there is where our victory will be. This position will be of a child of our Heavenly Father. And if we are children, it's understood that if we make ourselves children of the Father, then He, Himself, as a Father who defends His children, He will take care of our enemies. This is our faith. You see that both things are intertwined. They are inseparable. The way that I treat even my enemies is directly connected to my condition before God. Either I am a child by the way that I treat my enemies, or I am not. So understand this clearly, because many people have their lives tied up. Maybe your life is tied up, completely blocked. You don't move forward. You don't advance. Your life is like frozen. You don't come out of the situation that you are financially, in your relationship, marriage, family, health, physical and mental, emotional and spiritual health. Spiritually, you don't move forward. It's like your life is tied up. It's like if you are cursed. Why are you living like that? One of the reasons why can be exactly this one. The way that you have been treating other people. How have your words been towards others? And now I speak about everyone, not only enemies, because there are people who are not enemies. But even though they might be friends, they badmouth, they say a gossip, they speak ill about that person behind closed doors. They speak ill. They say, I can't bear that person. 3 words that are pouring out their hatred, envy, bad eyes through the mouth. And what is worst of all, they are pouring this poison, these words, upon the ear of someone else, with the chance to contaminate the other person against that person that you're speaking about. So, you can realize that these words are not vain. They are not just words to the wind. They are words with spirit, and this spirit comes back to you. If it's a bad spirit, it will come back to you. God spoke about that when He called Abraham. He chose Abraham and told him that, I will bless those who bless you. He who blesses you, Abraham, I will bless them. Now, he who curses you, I will curse them. They will be cursed. Which means God placed Abraham as some sort of reference, some sort of mirror, like the law of return embodied in Abraham. Abraham was the embodied law of return, meaning that whoever treated him well will be treated well. Whoever treated him badly will be cursed. Abraham became that point of return on earth. And do not forget that Abraham lived around 4,000 years ago, but the descendants of Abraham are here. Those who are children of Abraham by faith, they are here. God showed through Abraham how He treats people in the same way that they treat those who are His. So everything that He did to Abraham, He extends to His people. For example, that's why we should love Israel, the people of Israel, with all their flaws, because which nation has no flaws? Every people, every nation has flaws. The story of Israel, they rejected Jesus in their majority, they still reject Him, but was the people who God called, so you cannot hate them. There's a specific hatred towards Jews. You should not be part of those who hate Jews, neither Jew nor Arabs, because it's here written, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy is what the law said. But Jesus said, I give you a new law, a new commandment. You will love your enemy. So we should not hate the people of Israel. No people, much less the people of Israel. We should not mistreat people that represent God to us. Our neighbor represents God to us. But how can you love, respect a God who you don't touch, don't see Him physically? You don't visit Him because He's everywhere, but at the same time, you cannot physically interact with Him. So how do we relate ourselves with God? We do for the neighbor as if we are doing for Him. It's what Jesus said. When you are visiting the inmate you are visiting me. When you feed the poor, you are feeding me. Which means the way that we treat people comes back to us. This includes family, when he said that in commandments, honor your father and mother, that your days may be long upon the land. Again, he puts the relationship between people, in this case, the family relationship, the way we treat our parents, as a condition to live a long life. So, how have you been treating your parents? How have you been treating those around you? It doesn't matter if it's a person close to you or just a stranger. How have you been treating people in general? Think about it, because maybe your life is tied up as a reflection on the way that you speak about people, how you think about people, and how you treat these people. Learn to treat everybody well, with no exception. Treat them well. You don't need to be there, with friendships so close to them, but you don't need to mistreat anybody. Treat well. Be gentle. Be a child of the light. Be a child of God on the way that you treat people. Because this has a way to come back to us, is what the Word says, is what the Scriptures teach us. So evaluate this, your relationships starting with those at home and everyone else, to every place you attend and every person that you interact with. And maybe changing your behavior. Very soon, you will perceive a change in your life as well.
Did you like this? Would you like to hear it again? Listen to it as many times as you need until this content becomes part of you. Don't forget to leave your like, comment, and share. See you next time.